Facts and caps. Right.
I would think
I'm just asking. My opinion.
I would think, I wouldn't think you were gay because what if you and her don't work out and then you go back to men?
Like that's the only girl you've ever fucked with.
Like it was just something about that girl.
What you got next? You got anything
Can I
else?
ask one?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Facts and cap. When are you using
This nigga ain't never made up a question. Go ahead. This better be good, nigga.
Precious off.
Facts and cap, right?
I'm joking.
No man will ever give a female as many chances as a female would give a man.
Wait, say again?
No man will give a female as many chances as a female would give a man.
Agreed. As men, when we get hurt, we be done. For the most part, like I'm not saying that like yes, there's individual cases or whatever, but if we just speaking generally, most men they be out after the first fuck up a woman do. You know what I'm saying? Like a woman will give a man plenty of chances.
Too many.
Some is too many, some not. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to think like
I know plenty of niggas. Like, don't get me wrong. Back in the day, I got cheated on. I still stayed with the girl. You know what I'm saying? But I remember, like, once my friends found out about the situation, I would have left that bitch. They could have been lying. We was young. But I just know a man mentality because situations like that, a nigga will be once his niggas find out, then you know what I'm saying. He thinking about his ego and whatever it may be. A nigga might be out, boom, right from the beginning. A girl. She gonna take time, understanding. She's gonna want to talk about it. She's gonna give you a chance. Like, I feel like that's clear and cut. That's like an easy.
I think it depends on how public it is. Cause I think, like you said, the public ego shit. Cause a lot of niggas get cheated on.
Even nigga get cheated on in private. You still think I think a nigga out. I think a nigga out either way.
I think a nigga might say that.
Let him find out she's something nigga did.
Think a nigga will be hurt.
Oh my god, that nigga's out of there. That nigga's out of
Hey,
there.
can I answer this now, man?
I don't know.
So this is my point on it, right? I believe that yes, y'all are gonna give us more chances, speaking as females, but it's because of the reason females, because of how the cheating happens. We may be out drunk, we meet somebody, boom, it just happens. It's a you know, we just do it. It's a fuck up. For a woman to go and fuck another nigga, it takes more emotions into it. So it's harder for me to forgive you because you're more so emotionally attached.
Off that box, nigga.
Hello.
I used to think like that, but then I just feel like, man, women be wanting some dick too.
I'd say 80%.
You know what I'm saying?
85% of the time.
They might want some new dick too. You know what I mean? That's just how
I think
it
it's
is.
close to 50-50, man.
Nah.
Too many of these relationships, they be together.
I'll give it 70, 30.
I think it's public perception.
85.
65, 35, 60, 40. What you think?
I feel like it's a double standard and men will leave before a woman will. Not this woman. I'll leave when niggas leave, but fuck them.
Alright, let's get one more.
Facts and cap. Some more serious note. With this COVID situation going on, you know, in hospitals, they be having limits. You know, one person come in. That's it. Should that decision be up to the person? Let's say their mom's on their deathbed, but since COVID, they won't allow you to come in. They can only see you on Skype. Or you having a baby in the ICU, and they just had pregnant. They won't allow you to come in until they come out. Should that decision be left to the hospitals, or should it be based on person per person basis?
The person in the hospital bed, if they like, if we talking about pregnancy,
I'm talking about.
let's say I know we're gonna say this. Is what I'm saying. Like, if we talking about pregnancy, obviously the person who's pregnant, the person who's delivering the baby, like that should be case closed.
What you mean?
They should make that decision, like if they want their mama in there or.
So they shouldn't leave us to the hospitals to make that decision.
No.
Nah.
Why should the hospital even have a decision on who can be where?
To prevent spread.
To be
of
in the
COVID.
hospital. You know what I'm saying?
To limit. That's the whole purpose of it is now to
So
limit the
I'm
spread.
saying, saying like what family member, or you can't have nobody outside of the family, because
Like, it's like that now. Like, there's funerals where they don't allow people to come in. There's like, I have a friend who had a family, like we had a member that had a baby. The baby was ICU. They couldn't see the baby for the first few weeks.
Who
Like, they
couldn't go?
Nobody. Only the doctors. They were not allowed to see them because of COVID.
So it's just a.
Or and another person I was having a conversation with, they was like,
Well, see, that's kind of different.
they have a family member that's having problems like mental breakdown. Not even mental breakdown, but like
They're in the hospital.
they're in the hospital.
Well, that's
And
that's the situation.
They're asking for their wife. They won't allow them to come.
So they
Well,
won't
see-
let nobody come.
Well,
see,
nobody
that's
knows.
a little,
different
well,
than
that's different though.
nobody.
If you're talking about a mental
Or
breakdown,
anything.
where the person isn't really competent enough to make those decisions.
They said they
What-
had, like,
what I'm
cancer.
saying
it was
is-
cancer. It wasn't mental breakdown. It was cancer actually. It was having like
well, if they want their mama there, and like say the hospital is allowing one person to come in the room, then they should be able to make that decision on who they want to come in the
no,
room.
they're not allowing anybody to come in the room.
That's not different.
See, that's a little different than what I'm
That's
thinking. The question
that's
is-
the facts of cap.
Okay, well that's
They're not
different.
allowing
Yes,
anybody.
because if they're
Should they
saying that
allow-
nobody can come in, then that's for your health. That's obviously for they're trying to save your life. Somebody
Yeah.
could potentially come in the hospital with COVID.
Yeah. So you don't think?
yeah, no, I do think. See, I thought the way that you was asking was like, if you only got one choice, the hospital should determine who comes in.
I'm saying the hospital saying nobody allowed to come in.
I think that's.
Oh, I don't think that's fucked up, nigga.
I
This is
do.
for the benefit of you.
So
Alright,
you have a family.
You're
member on the
dying.
deathbed,
If somebody
they just
came in
wanna
here
see
with
them.
a risk of COVID,
Now, if you tell me I have to get tested and be quarantined before I can come in,
the
okay.
hospital ain't got time to tell if you quarantined or not.
That's why I asked this question.
How the fuck do they
People,
know if you quarantined?
Well, if I walk in there with a negative test and they shit say today I had a negative test, I'm walking in the door.
It's not even about that. Either no,
That-
they would,
that's
have, they would have to do the test, but you gotta ask yourself. Then think about how much money the hospital's spending to just give a family that one person a
I'm not
test every
saying
day.
it ain't gotta be
So if
free.
you have a child that has some type of, God forbid, type of sickness,
I feel like the hospital would let one person come in.
they said no. I'm telling you,
Well,
this has
hey
to
man, it's hard, but it's all for the betterment of the situation. I get it, but we gotta understand. We gotta be understanding of the times, bro. Yes, you had a child. Your child is already in the what? Where you said the child was at?
I see you.
Your child is in the fucking ICU.
Yeah.
No,
Know what?
there's people who before COVID, people have children that are premature and they don't get to see their children. They're on an incubator. You don't get to go down there and see your fucking child. This is just what you have to deal with. This is the regulations. We're trying to save your child's life. We know that this is an emotional moment for you, but you gotta understand the times we're in this country. Why the fuck would I let you go down there and risk like there's doctors giving patients COVID because they're dealing with people with COVID all the time. Why the fuck would I let you go down there to the ICU? And it's not only about your child, you can spread it to all the other children in the ICU, all the other employees in the ICU.
And because it's not the hospital's right to do that.
Shit, it's their right if we trying to save lives. It's a right if we trying to save everybody else's life. You worried about your one child, but you need to worry about this person's child next door that's in the ICU. You need to worry about the person that's trying to save this child's life. Like you putting the whole fucking potentially floor at risk. So then what? Because you were selfish enough to where you need to go see it, and now that shit didn't spread.
I feel like there should be stipulation.
I think y'all was thinking emotionally.
I'm
Fuck that
saying,
test.
I don't know,
You
bro.
fuck the test because you can still. There are people who are getting COVID from doctors. Like I said, like you could come in here.
Okay, so my
The
kid.
less people possible is better for the doctors from a medical standpoint.
I just think it's hard to say you can't see your loved one before they.
It's hard, but
I'm not talking about
it's hard, but it is
a
what it
potential
is.
spread
Somebody
of
has
COVID
cancer.
disease.
Somebody has cancer, and you telling me
I can't.
they already told me, hey, look, we got about 48 to 72 hours.
So just let everybody in and give
I didn't say
COVID.
everybody.
I said.
Let one person in, and they
Well,
might
if they
have
died, just let them go home. Shit, you died at the
COVID.
house.
Fact.
Everybody get COVID at the house.
Yeah.
Don't bring up
Yeah.
shit. My thing is, the hospitals are supposed to be safe, and like he said, doctors and nurses are getting it, and they're giving it to people. So they're trying to cut down. But people think, oh, I'm only around my family. Like family members can't carry COVID. It doesn't.
Right.
That's not how it does. It doesn't say, oh, so you want to jeopardize because you wanted to touch and see your
Right.
newborn child.
Yeah.
Now you accidentally gave them COVID. Now what? But you had a test. And you came in, you had a test, you quarantined, you did everything. On your way in, somebody gave you COVID.
Yeah.
That's how it is. You never know. You can't say, you can say you take 50 tests, and they come back negative, but as you're taking the test, what if you catching COVID?
What if the person that gave you the test has COVID? Like,
I mean, it's so like that.
like you're being selfish. I
But it's
understand
hard
it.
though. It's hard because you want to go back there.
You're being
But
selfish.
what if you give your
And
kid?
listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest. It is that simple. And
I don't think it is because-
ultimately, you're being selfish. You're being selfish. And it's other people that you need to think for. You're being selfish.
For one, it's not, a lot of people, the reason I asked this question, because it's controversial, a lot of people feel the opposite way. So, two, I mean, that's your opinion. The two is the spread of COVID. If it was so rampant, as much as people make it seem, then why is everything else open in certain places?
Because
That
we're
don't got shit to
American,
do-
we fucked
That
up.
ain't shit got shit to do with
It
the
does
hospital.
have
That's
shit to do
got
with it.
You know.
that don't got
Because
shit to do with the hospital. That got shit to do with whoever's leading this fucking country and whoever's leading the states and all that. If I'm in the hospital, these are the rules and the regulations of the hospital. Where we're here to save lives. The club, I don't give a fuck if the club is open, that's on y'all. That's whoever decides on who, if bars and nightclubs are open. The hospital is here to save your life. They're not here to, fuck, I don't care if McDonald's dining room open. The fuck that got to do with the hospital? That's what, we are selfish as people. That's the problem. We are selfish as people. If right now, Jasmine had a baby, and they tell me I can't come in, yes, I'll be hurt, but I understand that. I'm not coming in there because I could potentially have COVID and my child is, let's say my child's in the ICU. You're already, you're already like fighting for your life. Why the fuck would I come in because I need to touch your hand or take a picture of you to show to her? You know what I'm saying? Why would I do that knowing that my child, I got my whole life to live with you. I'll take this 2 weeks, a month, and it's gonna kill me. But you know what? I'd rather not do that and take you home than to hold your hand and you potentially die. Because I gave you COVID because of the nurse.
Is COVID that rampant that if you go in there, the people gonna die?
If your child in the
Nigga.
ICU,
About it. So
Facts!
So-
That's the point.
So exactly.
That's the point.
We
We,
can both
don't
make-
know
we
about
can
it, but
both
you
make-
steady trying to bring other people in there.
So that'll make you right. Just the point.
I'm not talking about because I think I'm right. It just makes sense. What you're saying. You just said it.
The point I'm trying to say is a lot we don't know about it. So if you go on the side of prevention, of course, you could be 100% the best risk of doing something. If you don't want to get STD, don't have sex. That's 100% prevention. But there's ways to do that and try to prevent it from getting an STD. So I'm trying to say the stuff we don't know and having a full cell blown prevention and knocking some of the stuff we find selfish,
But-
yes,
but listen
is
to
it
what
going
you
to be
said,
worth
okay.
it? And 2 years from now,
I'm gonna talk about it because you said if I'm yelling, I feel like I'm right.
I didn't say that.
You're saying you just compared a disease that has killed over 260,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a whole stat? Like, where you getting?
Yes, they talk about that all the time, bro.
I'm
We
just saying,
know
where'd
for
you
a
get
fact.
the 260? That's all I have.
There's around
It's around 260,000, bro.
About 200,000.
So we know for
Less
sure
than the
that
flu,
we
less
know
than-
for sure, and there's nothing. There hasn't been a vaccine. There's nothing we know. With the STD, there's different strands of STDs. There's everything, right? So and it's been around long
You
enough.
think COVID kills more people than STDs?
Probably not, but it's not killing people. Probably it's not even that it's necessarily that. It's not airborne. It's not something that you know what I'm saying. Like it's not like most sexual transmitted diseases come with sexual contact. So we're gonna give you a prevention. We're gonna give you a condom, the female condom. We're gonna give you ways to prevent that.
Same
And it's
way with
something that
COVID. 6 feet
The way-
separation, mask.
you can still get COVID without with just 6 feet. That's just what they're saying that
That's
they're
part of what I'm
possibly
talking
saying
about,
to
the
do.
science of it. That's
So,
not a fact.
so yes, so
That's
if
not
I'm,
a fact
so,
what you
so
just
look, if I'm a hospital, being that this is a new disease that we don't know really nothing about, whereas the STDs, we know that they might not be 100%, but there are percentages that say if we do this, you won't get it, or it's less likely that you will get it. And we've had experience in years under our belt of knowing this, then yes, that's different. If we're talking about a disease that basically, essentially, we know nothing about, we're learning new shit every day. We learning people. Oh, it was a point we didn't know that you lost smell and taste, and it didn't come back even after you didn't have COVID. Like we're learning shit about it every day. Why would I put Why would I just be letting people in the hospital and they could have something
That's
that
just
we
one
don't know
side of
nothing
what we're
about?
learning. There's a whole other side of what we're learning. We also learning it's not spreading as fast as we thought it was. We also learning that they
It's
possibly
spreading.
have-
It's spreading hard enough. If 250,000
Is it?
people done died,
like that's a big number. I'm not trying to downplay COVID. COVID
you
is
got
huge.
it. I don't know.
What I'm
I
saying
just feel
is
like
that
it's selfish.
there's-
I'll just leave it at that.
Of course, it's selfish, but life is selfish. You make people.
But the hospital ain't supposed to be selfish. The hospital is supposed to be thinking about everybody. Would you, okay, if your wife is a nurse, and the thing was, just let these many people in, you would be like, no, I wouldn't want my wife having to
It
deal
will be
with.
structured. It will be social distancing. It will say wear a mask, stay 6 feet apart.
At the
The
hospital.
same way you do it anywhere else.
No.
You can't. The whole full blown prevention letting nobody in. I don't think that's practical. And maybe it was when we first started.
Well, first,
but
what
we
you
know-
saying, they're not just not letting nobody in. There's a baby being born and the daddy is there too. The mom is there. Like, they're letting people in. So this is why I don't get where you're getting that from. But let's just,
from the conversation I have.
He couldn't win on my brother's situation or something.
there's people I know right now. Well, I don't know what your brother's situation is, but there's
It's
people,
not the only one.
there's people that I know that have had kids and the dad was allowed there. You know what I'm saying? Or you could pick one person that you want in there.
This question is based on the people that they didn't allow anybody in.
My brother's on.
Well, obviously
Which-
that
which
was
is
for
a
the,
lot.
I feel
Which is a
like
lot.
obviously that was for the
My
safety
brother
of
was,
whatever that situation was. You just said a baby was in ICU.
That's one example, bro. There's hundreds of.
But you just talking about the people. I'm giving off the examples you gave me. You said
Okay,
these
one
people-
somebody had cancer. They wouldn't allow it in. Somebody that had a seizure. They wouldn't allow them in. Like there's any.
So
example,
people were
baby.
basically in critical conditions, and the only thing we're worried about is if somebody can come and see them, rather than let's not have anybody in just to stay safe and save their lives. That way they can probably try to go home.
But they could still catch it from the doctor.
They can, but somebody has to be there.
I don't
Because what are we gonna do? Just let them stay there? They just had a seizure, or the baby's in ICU. What? We're just gonna let them stay there? The doctors are the professionals. They're there. They're there to sterilize. They have things. They have the technology to at least try to at some point prevent it. They have the high prevention. You're coming off the street in your street clothes. You might have stopped at fucking JCPenney's or wherever the fuck you was at first. We don't know, but you know what? These doctors, we have the choices where they have to switch these kind of gloves every time they do this. We have to do this. They have regulations, federal regulations that they have to abide by before they can go even see somebody.
When's the last time you went to JC
think that was good. The vice topic we just had there.
Is that it? You got one more? We done, man.
Hell no, that's a wrap.
Then we
Hey,
good for
man,
that.
episode 23. We out this bitch.
Michael
Facts
Jordan.
and cap.
Look.
You're